Cause we been putting in the work. We only taking what was ours. So you better not be the one to doubt us. Cause we gon' blow your mind.
Slips out of the tackle at the 10. Slips away at the 15. Kenny across the 30.
We gon' blow your mind.
Kenny breaks another one. Touchdown, San Diego
We gon' blow your
State.
mind.
Rashad
Okay,
Penny with the fourth.
We
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to our week 5 podcast. I'm Haz. I'm with my boys.
Okay. Boy, EB.
All right, man. We're ready to go. Man, last week we 4 games were insane. It was a game a little wild, a little trippy, you know. But when it's playoffs is coming soon, you know, it gets a little tense. So I wasn't surprised at all about it. You know, we had some good games, some bad games, some embarrassing games, but that's what happens, man. And we had little kids playing. I heard we had a little 11-year-old. Mikhail's out there. Mikhail's son was balling. I heard, but you know,
Youngest player to ever play in UMFL, I think.
I don't know about all that, but I don't know. That's what it
He's
said.
under 8, then yeah.
He's 11.
He's not. I played like 9 years old.
Oh,
We were
I
kids.
played like 9.
Yeah, we were kids playing.
Stat check. EB stat check this man.
I know for sure. But yeah, we're underway. Our first game of the day, we had Team Rahma versus Team Dustin. As for some, I forgot his name for a second. But man,
I really believe that man out of your memory.
it's gone off my head, man. But man, this game was not the game I was hoping for. I thought it was gonna be a nice little game. I said Dustin would win this game. Actually, I was wrong by a lot. It's a bad prediction, man, by me. Dustin got killed. I mean, he had no Shaq, but your team was just insane. Like, your rush was insane. DB was killing Sahib. That kind of had me shocked, low key. Like,
Sahib was saying ghosts out there, man.
Sahib was, I don't know what he was saying. He was like he couldn't block nobody. And then Idris was getting Dustin every single time. That wide rush was killing that man. He had no one to throw the ball to. Some was kind of going off, but that was pretty much it. I mean, he had one crazy one-hand catch. But other than that, it was Team Rahma. It was a show by Team EB. They balled out. You had Yanad when you wanted to. Yanad crossing out Dustin, Bertetti, Dokir. Like, everyone was balling out. You got Omar Fortuna catching deep bombs. Like, all in all, EB did his thing. 3-1. He's a little W for you, man.
Yeah, EB really, like, we said it, like, on the first podcast, his team's going to be one of those teams where they could either, like, continue to build every week or continue to break down every week, and they're really, like, coming together. People are playing their positions. Idris, man, that guy, I saw that, man. He literally would sack Dustin and pull both flags. He wouldn't even just leave one flag. I don't know if you were yelling at him for only pulling one flag or not, but homeboy straight up pulling both of them. But I think Dustin, like, he has that problem now where people are figuring it out. He reminds me of Siraj's team last year. Siraj had no blockers, no rushers. Dustin's having that same thing where he doesn't have blockers, rushers. Hey, got some ankles cooked by Siraj. Siraj was doing the tango or something out there. Boy, got a new move now where he just, like, turns around.
He was all now.
Well, we can't disrespect too much. I gotta give some credit to Noor. He's probably
No,
like
I'm just saying, like, collectively, like, both rushes, you know what I mean? Because it really takes 2 rushers to get all the quarterbacks now. Besides, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, if you don't have a good 2 rush, then and you have a decent quarterback, you're just gonna get killed.
No, Newark's a dog. Like, he was killing our team, but, like, he didn't have that second rusher to help him on the other side because the field's so wide, and someone like you can just take off and go, and it'll gas him more. But, like, I feel like Dustin is his first league though, so he's still trying to figure it out. But EB's team was just too much at the end, man.
Yeah, man. We just started off hot. We got ball. We came out, drove downfield. I missed it on a wide open throw. We should have scored there. And then we stopped them. We came down, scored. Stopped them again, scored again, and we went up like 13 or 14-0. So, and you know, if I get that kind of lead, I'm like 90% of the time I'm not gonna lose that lead.
Yeah.
So, I didn't play gateway like Hassan, and when you get a lead, just throw Troy. You know, I was still throwing the ball downfield, but you know, it's tough to lose a 14-0 lead. They played good, but like I said last podcast, like I had it in my mind where I was gonna attack and what I was gonna do. I was gonna keep Dustin on an island, let him do his thing, let him have fun by himself, and I was just gonna attack all his weaknesses. And I think they executed that pretty well. So
I think Dustin is missing out on his first rounder is huge, man. Like, he has Ahmed Agha, no Shakur. It just no one really throw the ball to, and rushers getting like that. I mean, even I think Destin should have ran some more than he was because I know he can break down one of the guys and make some more plays, but he was trying to be a quarterback and it didn't really work out for him. You know, like the two rush is effective, but even like DB, like he can get around DB, man. He wasn't running too much, but the rush was doing good. The way the wide rush it's tough to get around. But yeah, I think if they can get Shaq back, they'll be okay. But it's tough when you're scoring like that. You're scoring almost every single drive. Like it was 13-0 downs.
He had players making like Omar Ahmed, like which way he balled out, like he was catching everything this game. Like you have people like catching the stuff, not dropping it. Like it's really hard to lose the game for sure.
Right, there's interceptions. So when you're not making mistakes, you're not giving him free stuff. Like it's hard to lose that game. So overall, Team EB, Team Rahmat 3-1. Team Dustin is now 1-3. So yeah. All right, now our second game of the day it was Team Mogadishu. My team versus Free Palestine. I was 3-0. He was 2-1. Winner gets number 1 seed. It was a huge game for both sides. And man, oh man, it was a crazy game, man. That was kind of shocking because I told everyone it was gonna be a 33-20 game in last week's podcast. It was a lot closer than that, and it was just wild, man. Like whenever I play Yusuf Agha and like you have and stuff like that, it's just always like close battle for some reason. Even previous leagues, like versus Yusuf Agha, it gets crazy because there's so much talking, so much drawing. It gets very competitive.
And you guys have a long-rooted, deep rivalry.
Man. Like, we got a big one, man. Me and Agha were going back and forth since 6th grade, 7th grade, you know, in the summer school, and then me and Yahya went at it back in the old Mestre days of football. So we've always been going at it for sure. But man, I think this game, we started with a 13-0 lead like your game, 13-0, looking pretty. They come down and score, you know, 13-6. Ala was doing a little middle thing, was kind of getting to us. But I think when we had 19-6 lead, we're kind of coasting for the finish line, and they get that late score made it very freaky. It made it very that Diaz score killed us, man. Because now 19, like and also a big thing was a 2 timeouts thing. The half is huge because it was 19-13 with like a minute 30 left with 2 timeouts. So if they saw me there for the first down, it could have been a different ball game. But we get that huge first down and we kind of coasted to the finish line. We got the whole crazy wild ending, you know, with the whole punt thing. You know how that went down, but. Overall, it was a crazy game. I thought it should have been easier done for us, but it got freaky with the last score. But yeah, overall, you know.
Yeah, I think I don't know what you guys are doing. Like your team, you guys just seemed a little off that day. You guys weren't playing like in that system, and you guys I feel like you guys were out of your ways and out of your system. Because even they were driving downfield, there was 2 possessions where they got to the goal line and didn't score. Mm-hmm. So if they score on those, you know, that changes the game a lot. But I mean, you guys kind of brought it back together in the second half. You guys got that lead. I think you guys took your foot off the gas a little bit. I think you guys should have tried to run to score earlier, but you guys just try to coast through the game, and then they got that late score with 3 missed flag pulls. Should have been a flag pull. They scored on that. Yeah. But yeah, and then that thing late at the game, and it was getting chippy all throughout the game. Guys cussing. I really couldn't hear guys cussing and stuff, but apparently. Guys were saying under their breath on the field that some cheese.
Field was rated R, man.
It was getting crazy,
guys
man.
lined up offsides. It was too much.
We had some press coverage going on. We had some freaking Sherman playing defense or something. I don't know.
Yeah. But, I mean, all in all, you guys got the dub, so that's all that matters. Number 1 seed secured.
Yeah.
That was the goal.
I think, the problem with our team is, the last 2 weeks have been, our most shakiest games. And it's because, last week, we're like, oh, no Dustin. It's going to be you know what? We're thinking, walk in the park. We saw on the podcast 40-0, stuff like that. And then, this week, we're like, oh, no Kador. It's going to make it. I feel like that's part of it. Because after, when Yusuf came out of the game and 2 drives, literally on the 1-yard line, and we were able to stop, I'm like, all right, let's wake up now.
Yeah, I just want to say, sorry to cut you off, but scoring in the red zone is an art.
Yeah.
And not everyone can do it. It's tough, bro.
No, it's tough.
You gotta have your own thing that works. The one where the very first drive, he went to the back corner to Bryce, the end. But if you look at the highlights, he had Alat with Chadman. And Alat had the inside. You know what I mean? So he had the outside. So you just throw it right there, and it's just one of those things where Yusuf can't afford those. Because those are points on the board right there. Exactly.
Once you're inside the 5-yard line, that should be feels so wide. That's everybody's weakness, no matter how stacked of a team. But once we made those 2 drives, it was okay, done with this. We're gonna move on. We're gonna this is where we're gonna. But we just never. I feel some discord on offense. We were running a lot of like collapsed routes where two of us were in the same spot.
Yeah.
And when you do that, it just makes it easier on the defense and stuff like that. But yeah, we did get the dub. You know, we did lock up the 1 seed, and it's better to have those games now than in the playoffs when we verse other teams and we do mistakes. But
For sure.
we did some good things. Well, we did some bad things. Just move on, I guess.
I feel like, man, Yusuf Aga's got to do something. He can't just keep coming out and like just playing ball. Like with this team, as good as this team can be, he's got to develop some type of system, something to get his team on the same path. Like when you're just coming out there winging it and throwing the ball. Like, yeah, you guys are physically talented. You guys are all athletic, and you can do that. But when you're playing a team like you guys that have a system and that's prepared for everything, you're not gonna win games like that. You're not gonna win games that are high scoring. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a low scoring game, and they only scored 14 points. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like
13.
13. Yeah. He's not even attacking matchups. Like it was a 4th down and like 20, and he has like Shabin lined up with Ala, and I told Ala just run a corner. Hazem wasn't even paying attention because he knows Yusuf Aga rolls to the left right away. So I'm like stuff like that where you can attack. Like I'd take that one-on-one matchup with Ala and Shabin any day. Like you see he lost to Ubi, and Ubi's, you know what I'm saying? Ubi's the first rounder. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking that every single time. But
And that's like one of our things. Like we watched we saw like their highlights like the whole season. Everything they do is just a bunch of slips off like dump-offs, and that's why like when they got to goal line, we took that out, and like that's like Yusuf Aga's really like he doesn't know what to do, and then we started playing back when then he started doing the slips. So you know what I mean? Like I feel like you can't just keep trying to like coach because they do have that mentality that everybody's like a vet on that team where they'll show up someday and they'll give it their best, and then they'll like you know what I mean. But they do need that system where I feel like Yusuf Aga just needs to like one of these games to, like maybe against you just like let it rip. You know what I mean? Like trust his players. You have like Alat, you have someone like Fadur, you have like you know what I mean? Just let it rip and like let your players make plays.
Yeah, I think they scored 13 points, but if our rush was on point, it could have been a shutout game because they were mostly driving that field because Yusuf Aga's running was killing us. It was straight killing our defense. You got Libe and Dawood, but they couldn't get to him, and he kept running right side, left side, whatever you want to do. But take that away, look, throwing was pretty much, it wasn't that crazy. Like, Ala had some middle throws, but all in all, it was most like lockdown defense. All he do was either run throw it to Ala. So we weren't really worried about anything else. So that many passes. So Giddy had some passes, he blocked it. Like, it's very weird. So, yeah, I think they're going to be pretty good. If they beat you guys, it's a lot different story, man.
For sure.
We'll see what happens for that game. But yeah, all in all, Yusuf Aga is now 2-2, and we are now 4-0, number 1 seed. All right, our last game of the day, we had Team Fahad, Muslimin versus Team Sahabas, Hassan Johnson, 0-3 Fahad versus 1-2 Hassan for the last seed, man. Fighting for the last seed right there. But man, Fahad shocked the world, man. He finally got a W in his record. Fahad, man. Congrats to Fahad. He's won a game. It's been a year. It's been a whole year. He finally did it. Congrats to that man. He was grinding at center, watching tape, studying film. He finally got a W. But man, Team Sahabas, man, I must clown you guys, man. I have never in my life seen a team break down like that in my life. Like, they straight broke down in front of my eyes, man. I saw they lose their quarterback. We got Chuma playing quarterback now. We got Vlogger winning the quarterback. We got Hussein playing quarterback. We got Mikel playing quarterback. Muhammad has 3 picks that score touchdowns in the same game. 3 of them. Not 1, 2, we got 3. 3. And I think his last pick 6, man, no one chased that man down. Everyone was like, hands in the air, GG. Go ahead and score again. Go ahead and get more stats, man. I think after one game, he has 3 picks in one game. I think now he's leading the league in picks and touchdowns and picks. Like, it's crazy. He might get the war off one game because they sold the bag, man. But all in all, man, Hassan Johnson got hurt. It was GG. They had no quarterback, no blocking.
Did he get hurt?
Oh, question of the day. Was Hassan faking that injury, man? I don't know, man. But I don't know. Is Hassan Johnson's team broke down? They're now 1-3. Peanut no show. He said he got a test. I saw he got a test. He told us he's on vacation. We don't know what the story is. The man probably lying, but he don't want to. I don't know Peanut, man. Without Peanut, they had no chance. So all in all, Fahad, great job. Y'all won a game. Bilhami had a nice deep pass he caught.
That one got called back.
He got called back, but he still caught it.
You know what I hate about Fahad? He's so sad. He has to get a dub like this. No Peanut, no O's against Hassan. And then the second half, they were up like 30 points. When Hassan got out, I'm like, Fahad, let me play quarterback for them. He's up 30 with 9 minutes left. He's like, nah, bro. Like, nah, I need this win, bro. And he's like, with
Point differential, man. Point
he's
differential.
like, with those two blockers, he's like, bro, you're gonna have all day. Apparently, I can score 40 points in 9 minutes. Fahad he's sad, man. He's a sad guy. I can't believe he didn't let me play, man. I can't believe that.
You get desperate when you're winless, man. When you haven't won it over a year, man.
Desperation, man.
Like, it was like before the game where there was no Alice, Peanut wasn't showing up, no Falah, Darkness Squid, he's hurt. I told Hamada before the game, like, hey, like, this is your stat game, man. This is where, like, you make it look like you're relevant for a second rounder. Like, to do something, like, you don't do it, but, like, Fahad, like, he did get the dub, but, like, 3 of them were pick sixes. So, like, how many points did Fahad really score and stuff? Yeah. But, like, it felt like that game, like, I left early. Like, I was like, shout out to Mikhail's son for playing. You almost sacked Fahad. That was a little sad, too.
Forget 11-year-old running around chasing his man.
Scramble around.
It looked like a community service game by Sahaba for Fahad, man. For Fahad's team, they're like, hey, you're winless, haven't won a year. Like, I don't know if Fahad.
I wonder how much he paid us.
Yeah,
birthday present right there.
I wonder how much he paid Peanut to go on vacation.
Man,
have a test. Whatever.
He probably told like Peanut to say he had a test, and then Peanut forgot to say a test. All bad, man.
Fahad's favorite line though is he's 5 plays away from being 3-1. That's his favorite line so far.
5 plays.
5 plays from being 3-1. He's talking about your game. He that pick overtime. He's talking about
he sucks. How you throw a pick?
He's
5 plays.
He's talking about the Ala deep ball at the end that Bilal got caught on by Ihab last second play because he had the game winning. He had a 7-6 lead, 7-6 though. You know he had the lead in the last second, but. Man,
5 plays.
End of the day, it didn't happen. You lost the game. So like, I don't know why you keep bringing this 5 plays away thing. Like it's over. You're 1-3. He did get a win though. Hassan Johnson's looking
Fahad 5 plays after that. That's just
Fahad 5 plays after that. Low-key, man. That's solid name. That's solid. I like that. But man, all in all is though, it's Fahad's 1-3. Hassan is also 1-3. So we got 1 week left before the playoffs. So we'll see what happens, man. We shall see.
All right, so we got our last week of the regular season, week 5. First game we got at 9 a.m. is Hazem versus Hassan Johnson. What are your guys' predictions for this game?
It's gonna get bad, man. Honestly, it's gonna get crazy.
Stats day right there. Stats time.
Yeah.
I must get freaky on them.
You must get your receivers all your receivers top 3 in scoring.
They already are though.
They must get interceptions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's gonna get crazy. It's gonna be a crazy blowout. Like Hassan's team just don't even show up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, then it comes to the game, it's gonna get embarrassing. Hazem's winning, dude. He's gonna put up 40.
It's tough. It's tough, man. Man, Hassan, I don't want to go too hard on this man. I'll probably take it easy. You know, just throw a little 4-tutty game. You know, 5 maybe. But I'll go easy on the old man. I know he won't be there. And his team's probably broken down from EB and Fahad's, beat down. So their spirit is broken, but I feel like Hassan will come back for playoffs hard and strong. Like this game won't matter for him. Like whatever, this loss is guaranteed. Move on. He won't be there, so I mean, he low-key might show him to shock the world with a fake injury. But we'll see if he comes or not. But all in all, is they don't have enough players to beat us, so it'll be an easy game for us. It'll probably be like a 40, 47, 8. They might score once. I'm not getting 1-tutty. But all in all, we'll beat them down pretty good. We'll go 5-0 and get ready for the playoffs, man. That's all I got for that one.
Yeah, I think we're gonna win. I'm done doing scores for our games ever since that Dustin game, man. I can't get blasted like that, man. But I just think, they're just not gonna have players. Like, who knows who's gonna show up for that game? It's a 9 a.m. Sunday morning game. Like, who's really gonna wanna get up for that beat down? When the last week when the team already makes the playoffs and they're looking at when the different players that could get incentives for 1 extra catch. We're just gonna have our sheet kind of looking at everything. But I don't think he's gonna nothing's really gonna. I think both teams are just kind of getting ready for the playoffs, and I feel like that's why we flexed it to that 9 a.m. game. And then I think it'll just be a dub and we'll move on.
All right, in our second game, we got Team Fahad versus Team Dustin. I think Fahad might win this game, man. I think Fahad's team is kind of getting round the troops now. Fahad's going for the playoffs, and it's a big game for Fahad because if he wins this game, he can go to 4 seed. I know he wants to avoid Yusuf Alba. He don't want to play Yusuf Alba first round. If he loses, it'll probably be like a like a 6 seed playing Yusuf. You know, he don't want to do that. It's a big game for him if he wins this game. And I think he will. I think Dustin is missing some players this week. He won't have some of his crucial pieces. He already has no first round pick, so it's gonna be bad for Dustin. I don't know who he's gonna add. He might add somebody for his team to have 7 players, but I think Fahad will win this game. It'll be a low scoring game, probably like a 20 to 12 dub. What do y'all think though?
I think I'm gonna go with Dustin this game, man. I think Dustin's gonna be doing a lot more running. I think he's gonna realize he's gonna have to just run. And I feel like Fahad's team, besides like Hamada, doesn't really have that speed aspect to it. So I feel like Dustin's gonna break off on a lot of runs. And I also think Noor is gonna be getting into Fahad. I don't think Fahad has a blocker that's gonna be fast enough to keep up with Noor. And I think that's just gonna wreck Fahad. Fahad's known if he doesn't have a rusher, it's gonna be all. A blocker to block a rusher, it's all bad for him. So I'm gonna go like 14-8 though, like something really low scoring. I think it's gonna be a lot of empty drives. Might be a couple first downs, but a lot of empty drives. I think Dustin's gonna pull it.
Yeah, I mean, I think Fahad's got this for sure. I don't know if Shaq's gonna be there. I don't know if I heard Osama's missing. He got like family in town or something, so he's not gonna be there. Just that alone, not having Osama, I think he for sure lost already before he even shows up. I think it's gonna get bad. I think he might score once or twice. Fahad, he's gonna put up at least 24 points, so it's probably gonna be like a 24-8 type of game. I think Fahad's gonna smack for sure.
Yeah, Noah Osama is crucial. Osama is nice. Like he's showing this league that he's a baller. So Noah Osama that's gonna be crazy. Yeah, we'll see what happens though. All right, in our last game of the regular season, we got Team Ibi Rahma versus Free Pass and Yusuf Agha for the number 2 seed of the playoffs of the season of the league. Man, this is a crazy game, man. Crazy intense game is gonna be. All in all, whoever wins this game is a big advantage for playoffs because, as you all know, it's going to be in one-day playoffs, and the bye is crucial. You don't want to play 3 games in one day. I mean, it's doable. It's definitely doable, but it's going to be hard, It'll definitely be tough. So it's a big advantage to have the bye. EB had a chance, so Yusuf Agha. I think this game is going to be like a feisty little game, a little chippy, a little talking. A score is going to be hype. But I think this is going to be I think Eid will take this game because he has more plays. He can get in his bag easier. I think he'll score easier. I think the rush y'all have that I saw against Dustin, put that same exact rush against Yusuf Agha. I think his feet should be contained in the pocket. And when the man's contained, he got to throw the football. And you guys have defense that can stop it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean he's when he's running, he's scared, but his throwing, you're not really like, oh my god, like I'm so worried about his arm like that. So, I mean, yeah, I think you guys can win this game easily if you guys do your jobs, like with the rush and everything like that. So, I got Ibu in this game, probably the number 2 seed. I have him winning this game 28-21. Even bad.
Yeah, this is a big game, like number 2 seed. You don't want to be that 3 seed playing at 9 a.m. and then having to wait for like 3 hours to play that second semifinals.
Yeah.
This is a good game to like kind of introduce the playoffs. You know what I mean? This is going to be like a very intense game, 11 a.m. game. I do think Evie, though, he's going to pull it out. I think Siraj is going to have a day. I think Yanel is going to also have a big game also. I just feel like there's just too many ways that Evie's just going to go kind of explosive. I feel like if Yusuf Agha doesn't have any subs too, it's going to hurt him. And I just think like Evie rushing and blocking is just there, and that's not Yusuf Agha's strongest suits. If Yusuf Agha adjusts and he starts letting it fly for his receivers, maybe he has a chance. But I think he's going to still be stuck in that 12, 13 points. So I have EB 28-12 type game.
Yeah, man, for this game, I think for Yusuf Agha to beat us, it's going to come down to the better quarterback play. Yusuf's going to have to throw the ball to beat us. Running's only going to get you so far. You can run all the way to the red zone, but when you're in that no-run zone, you got to trust that arm. And if you don't got it, you don't got it. But, I mean, I think if Yusuf, game plans and, coordinates himself with his team, he can do it. But I just don't know if he'll take the extra step to get that done. And like I said, we're going to march down the field. We're going to get in the red zone. And, majority of the time we finish in the red zone. I feel like the way I play the red zone and my system in the red zone is hard to stop. But the rolling out and no look passes is tough. Like defense has to be a crazy defense down there, you know. But yeah, I mean, obviously I got us winning, but I hope it's a fight. I hope it's a close game. But ultimately, we need that second seed, dude. I'm not trying to play 3 games in one day. Like, third seed, man, like, it's pointless, you know. I'd rather be last seed, like, either first, second, or it doesn't matter, you know. So we need that second seed bad.
Yeah, it'll be a crazy little game, inshallah. It stays calm, cool, and collected. You know, last week got a little crazy, but when it's playoffs time, it's gonna be like that. So it's a tough atmosphere kind of game. For that second seed, man, it's huge. It's gonna be a good one, man. We should see what happens. All right, and for our week 4 player of the weeks, I'm gonna go with my boy Siraj Dulak, Siraj. You know, he balled out last week. I think every time he caught a football, he was almost about to score. Like, he was going from here, saw something, doing everything. You know, the hips didn't lie last week, man. And I don't know, man. He's been watching a lot of film on the hips, man. Watched some film, but he was just the man. Flags could not be pulled down. He had probably $140 in yak. Yak was insane. He had some touchdowns too, man. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Siraj, my player of the week.
For me, I'm gonna have to give it to Hamada. He had a couple pick sixes, couple catches. You know, he really stuffed up the stat sheet.
I think all his scores came on defense. He had no offensive scores.
That's when like you can't not pick him for player of the week when you do it like that, even though it was on Hassan's team. But you know, you gotta give him credit. Stats are stats, touchdowns are touchdowns. So you know, he finally had a game which makes it look like, you know, he might be worth it. Yeah, like he might be worth the second round, maybe. But you're still.
He's nice though, man. He's nice. He's not bad.
Yeah,
He's nice.
like, but like, you know, last year was nicer when the grass was greener.
Yeah, last year he's real nice though. He's really nice though.
But yeah, that's gonna be my player of the week.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with, man. This guy didn't win the game, but you know, I really thought about it. I have to give it to Osama Jisri, man. He played us. He got sniped up, but the man balled out. You know, like he was everywhere I looked. He was catching deep balls, catching tough catches, jump balls. Like he was a nightmare for us. I know he didn't win, but you know, much respect to him. He balled out.
You really love for Son's team, man. That's back-to-back weeks on the.
He loves them boys.
Who did I choose last time?
Sammy.
Sammy's my guy though.
But yeah, man, that's all for our week 5 podcast. Inshallah, we'll see you guys all next week after our last regular season games. Hopefully, it'll be some fun games to talk about. But yeah, that is it, man. See you guys next week.